Welcome to the MLP channel.
Hello guys, and welcome to another video on the MLP channel. Today we're going to talk about output. So when you're dealing with computers, many times you're seeing many different messages. Those messages are called outputs. So how do we start? First of all, this is the Visual Studio program, as you remember. This is the 2017 RC version. Yours might look a bit different if you're using the community latest version. So how do you start? You go either to File, New, Project, or you go from here, Open Project Solution. Then, oh wait a second, that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is using the File, New, Project, okay?
Oh, baby,
And here,
it's
you need
triple!
to highlight the Visual C Sharp, then go to Console App and give it a name. So I'm going to write test name, nothing important. Oh, wait a second. Name. Okay. So this is your very first, very basic program, and you can see that if we run it, it will immediately close and nothing happens because there's nothing in it. So this is the body of every window in C Sharp. There are these using parts, using system locations generic. Everything in here is like saying, take those things, these are things that exist, and say, I'm going to use them. So make them available for me. Okay? This is the namespace. This has nothing to do to deal with for you guys. This is class program. Remember the name class. It will be a lesson later, and I will explain everything here. I promise, but it's not important for now, so let's just move on. This is your main method. Okay, in the main method, you're writing the commands that will execute at the start of the program. When you're pressing start, these are the first things that will pop up or happen if you're using different determination. So you can see it is made of a static. We'll talk about that keyword later. Void, the same, we'll talk about it later. And then there's this main. This is the name of the method. This is a must. You can change it, and it's just the way you write it. Same for these. These are called arguments in the these are called arguments, and we'll talk about arguments and methods later, but just use this now. It will be automatically generated, but use it, okay? So you go here between those parentheses, and here is the place you write your commands. You can write infinite commands one after one, okay? They will all execute one after one. So for example, if I'm writing, okay, it's not for commands now, just for you to understand. If I'm writing take one, and I'm doing add 1 to 2 and show user. So what would happen here is that by this order, the program would take 1, add 1 to 2, and show user. Okay? So let's start. How do you exactly use the show user command? Just go ahead and type console, okay, and then it would be light up green, so then you would know you were correct with it. And then write, and here you have two options, write line or write. Write line is the preferred option. Oh, sorry. Okay, because it gives you the possibility to write in a new line. If you're using write, it would just appear right after the last thing you rewrote. So, for example, if I'm using the console.writeLine, and then I open parentheses and brackets. So inside these brackets, I'm writing any part of text that I want. So I can say I love bananas. Okay, and then if I run it by pressing Control and F5 at the same time, you could see I love bananas. And this is press any key to continue. This is just an implemented thing. Okay, so if I would write I love chocolate, I don't know how to write chocolate, but it's not important. You can see it writes exactly as I wanted to. And if I wanted to write a new line, if I wanted to write a new line like this, and then here I could say this is a new line. Okay, as you can see, the output is now I love chocolate, and then in a new line, this is a new line. But if I were to write it in console.write, like this, yeah. If I were to write it like that, so it would just write it right after that, like this is right after last text. And if I were to run it, you could see it runs right after the last text. Oh, wait, I'm confusing two things. When you're using the right line, that means that this line has an end, and after it, you should go down a line. But when you're using right, you're just saying everything after that comes in the same line. Okay, so this is different than what I said in the first time. You see, when I run this, you have the I love chocolate, okay, and then because it's right line, it goes down a line. So this is right after the last text is not correct. You see, it writes here right below, and then because it's not a right line, the next text, this is a new line, is not actually in a new line. You see here? The right way to do it is by switching those two commands, and then it would work. You see? Okay, so this is how you show output to the user. By the way, early on I used the / and then wrote something. These are called notes. Okay, you can write notes to yourself anywhere in the code, and they have no meaning when the compiler goes. Okay, you can say I love cake, and when you run it, it has no meaning inside here. You see? No meaning, you can't see it. Okay? There is another way if you want to write big blocks of notes. You start with a /, then put this sign, okay? And then you put it again, and another /. This is like writing a small notes block, okay? I know it might sound confusing for the start, but I'm sure you'll get everything later on, okay? So let's just go over it again, okay? What have we learned today? We've learned about the command console.write and console.writeLine. Okay, both of these commands, yes, they're used like this, and they end with a semicolon. Okay, you see here the semicolon? This is very important. Without it, your program, it won't compile. You see, I'm getting an error when you see, it is saying I am expecting a semicolon expected. Okay, so these two commands, you write them using console.write, then you open this, you open them, and then you're opening brackets inside it, and you write text like this is text, okay, and then you end it with a semicolon. this is right. So what it means that after it there is not going to be a new line, but using console.writeLine you're saying after me there is a new line. And as you can see, this comes right after that because there is no new line over here. But as you can see, the press any key to continue came in a new line because this is console.writeLine. We are mostly going to use the console.writeLine because it is much more convenient and logical to use it. Okay, so that wraps up anything to today, and see you later, guys.
Thanks for watching. Leave a like or dislike. Subscribe for more of this.